All right, let's go to Tim in Des Moines, Iowa. What's up, Tim?
Hey, John.
Hey, do you call it Des Moines, or is that like what lame people call it?
I think people who don't speak English call it that.
That was a strong flex, Tim. Strong flex. I do speak English. I just think it's funny, but I'll call it Des Moines. Yeah. So what's up, dude? How can I help?
So my question is, my girlfriend gave me quite serious STD, and my parents ended up finding out about this. They are now against our relationship, saying that it's the way that God is showing that this relationship is not meant to be. I've been fighting this against my parents, and my question is there too much that has happened for this relationship to work, or am I trying too hard to make it work?
Bro, there's a lot going on here, man. A whole lot. Before I dig in, let's just have a conversation so I can get to know you for a second. Is that cool?
Okay. Yeah.
You sound a little bit nervous. Are you nervous, or is this just weird? Or I realize you're calling a stranger, being like, "Hey, I got an STI from this woman that I love."
No.
This whole thing's kind of weird.
This is basically the first person outside of this situation that I've talked to. So
gotcha. Well, dude, nervous. I'm grateful for the trust. It sounds like there's a lot going on here. Tell me about you. How old are you? What do you do for a living? All that kind of stuff.
27. Going to studying nursing.
Okay.
And just about to graduate here.
So congratulations on that. Do you live at home?
No, I don't.
Okay, so what kind of STI did you get?
HIV.
Okay, so you've got HIV. Okay, so I was wondering if this was my first question was, why in the world do your parents know? If I'm 27, the last people on planet Earth I would call until I have an STI is my parents. But HIV is super serious. What is your health prognosis?
So I guess the situation gets a little bit more difficult because my dad does computer diagnostics, and he was able to accidentally kind of find out I have this. And so I am...
Accidentally kind of? What does that mean?
Meaning he wasn't expecting it. He wasn't looking for it. It was just kind of came up when he was doing I regularly do checkups. He's a doctor.
Oh, so he's a doctor at the place where you went to get checked out, and he discovered through the computer system that his son has HIV?
Yes. It's alternative medicine that he does, and so it's a very different kind of from modern medicine. So it's just the way that he found out. I just go to my dad always for health checkups. Yeah.
Oh, what a mess. Okay, so tell me about this person that you're dating.
I guess what would you like to know about her?
No, just tell me about her.
Well, she's a nurse in Illinois, and this is the second serious relationship she's had.
Okay.
For me, it's maybe the first serious relationship for me.
Okay.
And so she grew up in a Christian family.
Did she knowingly give you HIV?
No, she didn't know about it.
Okay. She the first person you've ever slept with?
Yes.
Okay. How long y'all been together?
We've been together for a year now.
A year. Okay. So back to my original question, brother, this is just me caring about somebody I just met. Like, what's your health prognosis?
So right now there's potential that the treatment that through my dad, that it will go away, even though I'm being treated for it that way.
So
I guess in the real
Tim,
world. Yes.
in the place where I work, there's 1,000 employees here. I would be willing to bet my truck, and it's not a great car. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not great. But I'd be willing to bet it that I'm the most woo-woo health practitioner in this building. I'm not a health practitioner. I didn't say that right. That I am the most homeopathic, geeked out nerd when it comes to that kind of stuff in this building.
Right.
And you have HIV, and I want you to make sure you go meet with a traditional practitioner. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got it?
Yes. I understand that with...
I don't want you taking essential oils and like fermented oats and with the assumption that HIV is going to go away.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And I'm being provocative, and I know that. And my friends who are homeopaths are going to get all over me, and I get that. I don't want you to mess around with this. Okay.
Right. Right.
That's a secondary thing. So to answer your original question, brother, I don't want to get into faith disagreements with you and with your parents. I do not believe that God has given you a terminal illness because you had premarital sex, if that's the question. But I also am not going to get into a debate with somebody who has that particular faith view. That's not a fight I'm interested in engaging. Sure. You did have unprotected sex with somebody, right? And a consequence of unprotected sex can be STIs and can be HIV. Is that right? Okay. So I want to deal with where you are right now. You're 28, 27, is that right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, your parents do not get a vote on who you're dating. Do you live at home?
I don't.
I already asked you that. No, you don't. So they don't get a vote, brother.
Yes.
Is your relationship with the woman that you love who gave you HIV going to be fraught with so much trauma? Yeah. Is it going to be hard to work through that? Yeah. No question about that. Can you? I've never honestly sat down with somebody who's in your situation. I have talked to numerous folks who got things like syphilis or gonorrhea or something like that. I've not talked through somebody in this situation. Talked through a bajillion of couples who get pregnant and their parents are all over them. Haven't talked to somebody with something as serious as this. And my understanding of where we currently are in the medical system with HIV is limited. I know there's some cocktails and stuff that have proven to be rather remarkable. But I don't know anything about your medical condition and like what a prognosis is, how long you have to live, all that kind of stuff. What I'll tell you is it is not uncommon for somebody to feel intimately connected to the first person they were with, despite trauma, despite anything, despite all those things. So your love for her, your connection to her is yours. What are you asking me?
Like, am I just disregarding the situation and trying to make something work that is not meant to work?
I don't think you can answer. I don't think that's a question worth asking.
Yeah.
I think the question worth asking is, do you want to be with somebody who gave you HIV, whether unknowingly or knowingly? Do you want to be with somebody who does that person treat you? I mean, it's all the normal stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does this person make you feel whole? Does this person make you feel like you have value? Does this person love you and has dedicated their life to serving you, and vice versa? Or are you bonding over trauma and tragedy? Oh crap, we're in this. We might as well be together forever and make it work at all costs, etc.
I gotcha.
I'm telling you, I would have a heart on this side of the fence. Again, I've never been on the inside. Dating somebody for 7 months, 8 months, and then finding out they gave me HIV, I would have a hard time leaning into that relationship. Again, that is me on this side of it. If I happen to be in that situation, I can't speak to it because I don't have that experience. But if you walk in going, is this meant to be? Am I wasting my time? Dude, I can't answer that question for you. Why do you want to stay with this person?
Just because, I guess, accept the situation. I mean, she respects me, she loves me, and we have trust. And I mean, I've been trying to look through kind of all the things that are supposed to be in a relationship, and they seem to be all there. So
okay, so here's what I want you to do. Have y'all gone to see somebody and talk about it feels like you're minimizing it a lot. And maybe my ignorance on the current state of treatment for HIV is the problem here. It feels like you were worried about whether this relationship's going to work, and I'm worried about your health.
Right.
And I think it is of utmost importance. If you are looking at this person and say, I want to spend the rest of my life with them, we are in it now, and I want to be in it with her, y'all need to go see some sort of marriage counselor today, this weekend, Monday, Tuesday, next week. Go see somebody and say, we're both interested in making this thing work. And we got this big, giant grenade that just went off in the living room.
Right.
And we got to deal with that. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I want you to make sure you are talking to somebody about your health journey, your parents. My guess is you and I could talk for a long, long time about the messages you received growing up.
Oh, yeah.
And it was probably tough. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. At some point, my hope for anybody is not that it's when they have contracted HIV and their parents are telling them that's God punishing them for making a bad decision. But here you are. At some point, you're going to have to stand up and disconnect yourself from that relationship for a season and ask yourself, what do you want to do professionally? What do you want to do personally? How are you going to cut those strings and get the relational IQ, relational mental health healing that you need, and then lean into, this is the person I want to marry? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And if
so you're saying,
go ahead.
So you're saying that first I need to like disconnect from my parents, like all my decisions and everything, and then lean into the relationship and figure that out. Is that correct?
No. Tim, you're 28, right?
Right.
What'd you do before nursing school?
I just had various healthcare jobs, got my bachelor's in nutrition, exercise, and health sciences.
Okay. I'm not going to be the guy here that tells you you've got to disconnect from your parents, but I'm telling you got to grow up.
Right, and yeah, that's the idea that I had for I guess in this relationship.
I did just tell you to disconnect from your parents. Here's what I mean by that: never talk to them again. You sound like a guy that's going to follow my words to a T, and so I'm going to be really clear with you, okay? And it's good for me, so I'm glad you're pushing me on this. You are going to have to make some decisions on your own. You're going to have to deal with your family trauma. You're going to have to deal with the fact that your parents have told you that the creator of the universe is punishing you.
Yeah.
And that they don't want their son next to this woman who did this thing and all that stuff. And you're going to have to reconcile that with the fact that they love you a lot, my guess is my guess. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. You're going to have to grow up and decide what you want to do, how you want to do it, what battles in your life are worth fighting, who you're going to take wisdom and advice from.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have close guy friends?
Not very many.
Yeah. So one of the cool things about my job is that people call and trust me with really heavy stuff. Sometimes, and this is one of those things, where, dude, if your girlfriend of a year gave you HIV, and you don't have anyone else to talk to in the world, that should be a giant red flag for you. You've got to get people in your life that will walk alongside you. Okay?
Yeah.
A stranger on the radio can't be your first call here. You've got to have people that you trust. You're 28 that are not your parents, that are your friends, that are a counselor, that are people you work with, classmates that you trust. And tells me that you're gonna have to practice relationships for a long time. So yes, I'm going back on myself again in this same call. I think I've flip-flopped 2 or 3 times. You do need to disconnect from your parents, but that doesn't mean cut them off. That doesn't mean be ugly or rude or disrespectful. That means that when they say, God is punishing you for what you've done, you must break up with her and move home immediately, and you don't want to do those things, you say, I am really grateful that you are trying to love me in the way you're trying to love me. I'm 28. I live in my own place. I'm going to stay here. And I'm going to make some personal decisions with the help of a counselor and a buddy or two, a pastor, somebody that I trust, that I can be honest with and will walk alongside me day after day about my romantic relationships, my healthcare journey, and what's going to come next for me. And I love you guys, and I'm grateful that y'all are speaking into my heart. That's what I mean by disconnecting. They don't get a vote anymore.
I understand.
Okay? And you and your girlfriend got to get with a counselor ASAP. And you've got to make a doctor's appointment if you haven't already. Have you seen a traditional medical practitioner?
No.
Please do that. Okay? Please do that. And I'm not going to get into your medical care stuff. I'm not going to get into all that. Other than to say, please go see a traditional doctor. Okay? Please do that. Oh, Tim. Here's what I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Everything in your world just blew up. Your parents, your faith, your medical, your health, your relationship with your girlfriend. I get all that. In your last year of being a nurse in the middle of COVID, everything in your world is a snow globe right now. It just shook up. I get that. And this call, I was not clear on this call. I'm sorry. I was kind of caught off guard and then surprised and then trying to work through where to even start on this deal. You need some professional therapeutic care today, ASAP. You need some professional medical care today, ASAP. Backing all the way up to the moon and looking down on Earth. You're 28 years old, brother. It's time to grow up. Time to grow up. Life has happened to you. You made some personal choices in your life about how you're going to handle intimacy and sex and how you're going to be safe about it and not safe about it. And it happened. So now you're going to live in that reality and you're going to work from there. There's not going to be a linear approach other than medical care and therapeutic care for sure. There's going to be some really good days, some really tough days. And you're going to have some people in your life that walk alongside you. Feel free to call me back after you have some of these hard conversations, brother. I'm here to take your calls and I'll walk alongside with you. I'm not hearing in your voice that you get what a huge deal this is. This is not about breaking up with your girlfriend. This is every single thing in your life is different now. And you're going to have to start from square one. Thank you so much for the trust, Brother Tim. Thank you so much for the call. Get some people in your life you can talk to today that are not your parents, but that will have your best interest and that will walk alongside you and give you wisdom for the long haul.